All right, AFC West should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See ya.
The Broncos are stuck with Russell Wilson. So, Mahomes is going nowhere. Justin Herbert's going nowhere. The only question is, do the Raiders keep Derek Carr? And Chris, this is a point that I made last Friday. I mentioned it in our awards post that I published right before the show began. Josh McDaniels worked out Baker Mayfield before the 2018 draft secretly when he was with the Patriots as offensive coordinator, and McDaniels had a front row seat for what Baker Mayfield did. I'm fascinated to see if they exercise their ability to pull the plug on the Carr contract and go for Baker Mayfield. And a lot of it depends upon what Mayfield does the next 4 weeks. But I still think they're probably leaning toward just keeping Derek Carr.
I would think so. Like what you talked about with the Minnesota Vikings a little bit. Who's out there that you're going to get better? And I think Derek Carr is, he flirts with being a top 10 quarterback in the league. For me, if he's outside of that, he's not far outside of that, to where it's going to be a special group of guys that you're only going to look at to go, hey, he's definitely better than Derek Carr, and we'll take him. So I don't imagine that happening. I think they're going to stand pat. And to add to that, Mike, I think the other thing we got to take into account is Devontae Adams is there for one of the biggest reasons is because of Derek Carr too. So I think they're all in on Derek Carr and then Darren Waller trying to make that happen with Hunter Renfrow, and then now they'll just build the rest of their football team around that group there on the offense.
All right, let's go to the AFC East. Bills, no. Dolphins, no. We've seen enough from Tua. He's going to be there. Patriots, let's start with them real quickly. Mac Jones, up or down, in or out. He may not want to be there. That may be the fly in this ointment.
Seriously.
It may depend upon bringing back, like you've said, Bill O'Brien. But he may be the one who jostles for a change of scenery if the Patriots don't show they're serious about upgrading the offense.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be in the market, but I think that's something to watch for sure. Just that relationship and where that goes and what Bill Belichick does with the offensive staff there. I'd have a hard time thinking, if I'm Mac Jones, that you just stand pat and the coach says, hey, we're gonna go with the same process as last year. If I was the quarterback, I'd be like, what? We're gonna go with that crap again? Are you kidding me? So that would certainly be something to watch.
The New York Jets, I think they're going to stick with Mike White next year. I feel like he's shown enough, and I feel like they want him, and it's just a matter of finding a way to ease Zach Wilson to the exit ramp and get value for him and move forward. But those players love him. Opponents respect him. The coaching staff is behind him. I feel like he's done enough. Chris, am I wrong?
Well, he certainly. He looks good. There's no doubt. I still think it's weird, and the whole decision's weird. It is. And, even at the bottom line, again, just when you just go, hey, wait, one guy was 5-2, one guy's 1-2, and they can't find the end zone, but he's the answer for the future. That just sounds weird to me. It just does. But it feels that way, Mike. And like the Zach Wilson thing, like we talked about yesterday, it just feels like it's over here in New York. I feel like they've made a situation here where they can't get out of. And then they've let the players speak too freely from training camp to start, where they've kind of piled on with Zach Wilson too, and it just the perception's negative around here. And they're not going to get anything for Zach Wilson. They can try to sugarcoat this all they want. The whole league is going, what the hell's up with the Jets? There's got to be something wrong. There's something dysfunctional there. And no one's going to be like, oh, well, we'll trade you a first-round pick for Zach Wilson now, because no one believes that the Jets really want him. So they'll have to pay Mike White. He's up this year, but it does feel that way. I bet you they're in the market to see what's available, but knowing, hey, we can make it work with Mike White if we don't get something big, shiny object to come to town that hits us in the face.
Well, and there is one big shiny object in Aaron Rodgers. People have already kind of speculated. You've got the LaFleur's connection, Matt in Green Bay, Mike in New York, and
haven't we seen the aging quarterback to the New York Jets from Green Bay thing already?
Well, maybe it's time for a sequel. Everything
right.
else is tracking
right
Brett
the same
Favre.
direction.
He's turned into Brett Favre.
Right.
He's like the kid that swears I'm never going to be like my dad, and he grows up and he's just like his dad. So it would be fitting for Rodgers to go to the Jets for a year, but after that, that's where it can stop.
Yeah.
He's not welcome in Minnesota. He's not welcome in Minnesota, as far as I'm concerned, if I have a vote. No ayahuasca in Minneapolis for me. Okay, AFC North, Bengals, no. Browns, no. Steelers, no. That's easy. The only one that requires even a thought is the Ravens. But you know what? They're not going to be in the market for somebody new. The question is, what do they do with Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, that's
because
right.
without him, it's going to be Tyler Huntley.
Right.
It's one or the other.
Right. Yes, exactly right.
They like Tyler Huntley enough to make him the guy if Lamar Jackson would be gone.
Yeah, that seems like that from anybody you talk to. But yes, I think to your point, they're not going to really be in the market. They're going to try to make it happen with Lamar.
Okay, AFC South. We know the Jaguars are all in with Trevor Lawrence, and the other three teams are all going to be looking, although I don't know about – with the Titans, I don't know, because you know what? It depends upon who they hire to take over. Because Mike Vrabel's got to win some games. You know, he had all the power and everything was looking good, and then they get their asses kicked by the Jaguars at home, and Amy Adams-Strunk may be having different thoughts now. But that's all to be determined, I think, based upon who's calling the shots once the season ends. So that's the only one that I have any uncertainty about. Clearly the Texans will be looking. Clearly the Colts will be looking. The Titans to be determined, Chris.
Yeah, I hear you there. I'd have a hard time thinking. I mean, Vrabel's done enough to me no matter how wet the year ends up here. He's the guy there. And I would still think that they're not going to.
They blow the division to the Jaguars. Well, they blow the division to the Jaguars.
Yeah, maybe there's some thought there. I mean, if I was ownership, I'd still go, no, Vrabel's been awesome, and we've exceeded expectations almost every year he's been the head coach. So, I mean, I wouldn't. But listen, I understand, that making you think about that a little bit. And then, as far as the QB market thing goes, I don't expect it. I think, Vrabel, Tannehill, Malik Willis, that's right in their wheelhouse. I think they'll make it work with, one of those two guys.
If the Jaguars can pick up one game on the Titans over the next 3 weeks, Week 18, Titans at Jaguars will be for the AFC South crown. As crazy as that sounds, it is 100% true. And we have gotten through 100% of the teams as to whether or not they'll be in the market for the offseason.
Colts, Texans, market, in the market.
Yes, Colts, Texans, right? That's a given.
Okay.
The question is, the only one there was a question about was the Titans.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.